Have you ever noticed your car's engine feeling sluggish, hard to start, or guzzling more gas than before? Many think they need a full overhaul or a new engine to restore that original power. But the truth is, most issues can be fixed quickly with a few simple steps. In this video, you'll discover little-known tricks, from cleaning small parts to timely replacements, that can make your engine run smoothly and powerfully, like it just rolled off the factory line. And at the end, there's one tiny detail that can make a huge difference. You won't want to miss it. Like and subscribe to the channel if this video helps you. 1. Clean or replace the air filter. Picture this. Your car's engine is like its lungs, and the air filter is the mask it wears every day. If that mask is clogged with dust and debris, breathing becomes tough and stifling, and your car feels the same way. A dirty air filter restricts airflow to the combustion chamber, forcing the engine to work harder to run. The result? Your car feels sluggish, accelerates poorly, burns more fuel, and might even make grumpy growling noises. The surprising thing is, many drivers overlook this detail. Some think a dirty filter makes the engine pull harder, so it runs stronger. A total myth. In reality, the filter only works well when it's clean, letting air flow through easily. A black, dust-caked filter not only weakens the car, but can also cause incomplete fuel combustion, leaving carbon buildup that harms pistons, spark plugs, and oxygen sensors. The good news? It's a simple fix. For cars driven in normal conditions, check the air filter every 12,000 to 15,000 miles. If you often drive on dusty roads, construction sites, or in polluted areas, check it sooner. A new air filter costs just $25 to $100. A small investment compared to the cost of engine damage from suffocating. Replacing it is easy too. Just unlatch the air filter box, lift the cover, and take a look. If the filter is gray-black or caked with dirt, swap it out. Make sure to choose the right type recommended by the manufacturer, as each car model has a specific filter size. Using the wrong one or forcing a poor fit can let dust slip through gaps straight into the engine, and that's when things get expensive. 2. Clean the fuel injectors. If the air filter is the lungs, the fuel injectors are the heart pumping nutrients to the engine. Their job is to spray fuel in a fine mist, mixing perfectly with air for ideal combustion. Over time, though, residue from low-quality gas, cheap additives, or carbon buildup clogs the injector tips. Instead of a fine mist, fuel comes out in drips or streaks. The engine starts gasping, slow acceleration, jerking when you press the gas, and burning more fuel than usual. What surprises many is that this doesn't just happen to old cars. Even newer cars, after just tens of thousands of miles in stop-and-go city traffic, can have tired injectors. Many drivers assume a weak engine means bad spark plugs, a clogged fuel filter, or even a faulty transmission. But sometimes the issue is just tiny bits of grime blocking the fuel path. The first solution is simple. Use a fuel injector cleaning solution poured into the gas tank. Products like Techron, Liqui-Moly, or Seafoam dissolve residue and gradually clean the fuel system as you drive. They cost just a few bucks and are great for regular maintenance. But if the problem's severe, like constant jerking, hard starts in the morning, or a misfire check engine light, those cleaners might not cut it. In that case, professional cleaning with specialized equipment is the way to go. Shops connect high-pressure tools with special solvents directly to the system, blasting away stubborn buildup. In 30 to 45 minutes, your injectors are spraying like new again. The ideal interval for professional cleaning is every 30,000 miles or sooner if you often fuel up at small, less reputable stations. Many customers are shocked after this service. Their car feels peppy again, with responsive throttle, smooth acceleration, quieter engine noise, and noticeably better fuel economy. A lesser-known perk: clean injectors mean cleaner emissions, which helps the environment and makes passing strict U.S. emissions tests easier. One small detail to remember: cleaning injectors is far cheaper than replacing them. A new set for a standard car can cost $600 to $1,200, while professional cleaning runs just $100 to $200. That means you're protecting your wallet before it's too late. 3. Carbon cleanup. There's a silent enemy nearly every car faces over time: carbon buildup. You can't see it from the outside, but it quietly accumulates inside the combustion chamber, on piston tops, around valves, and throughout the intake system. The consequences are clear. The engine feels heavy, responds sluggishly, loses throttle sensitivity, and might even make annoying knocking noises. Driving feels like forcing a marathon runner to race with a thick mask on. Carbon forms mainly from incomplete fuel combustion or low-quality gas. If you often drive short distances, start the engine multiple times a day, or use cheap, substandard fuel, this buildup happens faster. When the carbon layer gets thick enough, the engine doesn't just lag. It risks overheating, burns more fuel, and can damage critical sensors like the O2 sensor or intake air sensor. The good news? Carbon can be cleaned. There are 2 common methods. The simplest and cheapest is using a carbon cleaning additive poured directly into the gas tank. As you drive, this additive mixes with the fuel, breaking down and flushing out light carbon deposits. It's great for regular maintenance, especially if your car hasn't shown obvious symptoms yet. The second, more powerful method is called walnut blasting. As the name suggests, technicians use finely crushed walnut shells blasted at high pressure into the intake to scrub away carbon buildup. It sounds odd, but it's a technique officially used by brands like BMW and Audi for instant results. How often should you do a carbon cleanup? Typically, every 30,000 to 50,000 miles is reasonable, especially for cars with direct injection, GDI engines. These engines are powerful, but more prone to carbon buildup since fuel doesn't clean the back of the intake valves. If you wait too long, the carbon hardens like cement, making cleaning far more expensive. The difference after a carbon cleanup is striking. The engine starts smoother, accelerates cleanly, knocking sounds vanish, and fuel consumption drops noticeably. Many owners say it feels like driving a car fresh from the showroom. The key is, you don't need to wait for the engine to get sick to act. Like a spa day for your engine, regular cleaning keeps its power intact and prevents costly damage down the road. If this information is helpful, please comment 2 to let me know. 4. Clean the MAF sensor. If the air filter is the gate letting air into the engine, the MAF, mass airflow, sensor is the little brain guarding that gate. Its job seems simple. Measure the exact amount of air entering the engine so the ECU can calculate the perfect fuel-air mix. But when dust, oil, or moisture builds up on the sensor surface, those measurements go off. The ECU becomes like someone miscalculating a recipe. Too much fuel means wasted gas and black smoke. Too little fuel causes shaking, loss of power, or even a check engine light. The surprising thing is, many drivers scramble to replace spark plugs or fuel filters or suspect the fuel pump, never thinking of this tiny culprit. In reality, a proper cleaning can restore your car's smoothness instantly. The good news? You don't need to dismantle half the car to do it. The process is straightforward. Disconnect the sensor's electrical plug and gently remove the MAF sensor from the intake tube. A crucial note: never touch or use hard objects on the delicate sensing wires inside. They're extremely sensitive. Instead, use a dedicated MAF sensor cleaner, available at auto parts stores. Spray evenly over the sensor surface, letting the solution wash away dirt. Then, set the sensor in a clean, dry spot to air dry for a few minutes before reinstalling. The whole process takes about 10 minutes, but the results are immediate. Smoother starts, responsive acceleration, and normal fuel economy. 5. Clean the throttle body. The throttle body, or buildup, is the gate controlling airflow into the combustion chamber. Each time you press the gas pedal, the throttle valve opens, letting in more air to boost engine power. Over time, though, carbon, dirt, and oil build up around the valve and its hinges, making its movement less smooth. The result? The car shakes at idle, throttle response is uneven, acceleration lags, or it might even stall in traffic. Sadly, more than half of drivers skip this maintenance step. Many wait until the car struggles to start before checking, by which time the grime is thick like black glue, making the fix much harder. In reality, signs of a dirty throttle body can appear as early as 30,000 miles, but most drivers don't touch it until 70,000 or 80,000 miles. The good news? Cleaning the throttle body isn't complex, and if you're handy, you can do it yourself. First, remove the air intake tube connecting the air filter to the throttle body, and take a photo or mark the setup to avoid reassembly mistakes. Then, use a dedicated throttle body cleaner, spraying it evenly inside and on the hinges. Gently wipe away grime with a clean cloth or soft brush. For electronic throttle bodies, turn on the ignition or have someone press the gas pedal to open the valve, but never force it open by hand, as it could damage the control motor. After cleaning, let it air dry for a few minutes, then reassemble. The result? Sharper throttle response, a quieter engine, and the annoying shaking at red lights nearly gone. Cleaning costs just a few bucks if you do it yourself, or $100, $150 at a shop. A bargain compared to major engine repairs. 6. Using quality fuel. Many drivers think simply, any gas will burn as long as it's cheap, but the truth is far from that. Fuel quality is the key factor deciding whether your engine stays healthy or ages prematurely. When you use low-quality gas, tiny particles and impurities in the fuel quietly leave their mark. Carbon buildup on pistons, clogged injectors faster, and oxygen sensor errors. Not to mention, gas with a lower octane rating than recommended can cause knocking. That pinging sound in the engine, which over time can crack pistons or bend connecting rods. That's why some cars feel weak after just tens of thousands of miles, while others of the same model still run smoothly like new. One fact many don't know. Premium gas doesn't mean it has more energy. It's simply higher octane to prevent knocking better. For high-performance engines, turbocharged ones, or cars designed for high octane, using the wrong gas is like giving an athlete the wrong energy drink. Power drops, fuel consumption rises, and there's a hidden risk of damage. But for standard cars, what you really need to focus on isn't premium versus regular, but the overall fuel quality. Prioritize gas stations certified as top tier, meaning the gas has added detergents to clean injectors and combustion chambers. This makes a clear difference from small, independent stations, where cheap prices sometimes come at the cost of future repairs. Plus, adding additives like Techron or Seafoam every 3,000 miles is like giving your fuel system a regular detox. It costs just a few bucks, but gives you sharper throttle response, peppier performance, and better fuel economy. Comment 1 and like this video, and I'll reveal something even more shocking. 7. Replacing old parts. No matter how durable an engine is, it can't shine if its helpers around it are worn out. Many people focus on oil or air filters, but forget that small details like spark plugs, ignition wires, ignition coils, or belts also determine your car's power. Think of it this way. Worn spark plugs are like a lighter running out of fluid. The weak spark means fuel doesn't burn completely, leading to engine shaking, higher fuel use, and sluggish acceleration. A new set of plugs costs just $20, $40, but can save you hundreds in gas each year and restore 20 to 30% of lost power. It's not just plugs, ignition coils, wiring, and even the battery have limited lifespans. A weak battery causes slow cranking, unstable voltage, and erratic sensor operation. Old belts can crack or slip, suddenly stopping the alternator or water pump. Even a cracked air hose can let in dirty air, messing up the air-fuel mix and triggering the check engine light. These issues seem minor, but the consequences cost way more than routine replacements. The good news is, Most of these parts can be swapped at home for low cost. With basic tools and a weekend afternoon, you can replace spark plugs, accessory belts, or air hoses yourself. The feeling of starting the engine afterward and hearing it purr smoothly again makes the effort totally worth it. A little known tip: if your car starts leaking a bit of oil due to aged gaskets, try a reseal additive. Just pour it directly into the engine oil. It softens the gaskets, reducing leaks without tearing apart the engine. Of course, it's not magic, but for older cars, it can extend life by tens of thousands of miles before a major overhaul. 8. Changing oil on schedule. Nothing's simpler than an oil change, but nothing's more silently damaging than forgetting it. Engine oil is the lifeblood of the whole machine. It lubricates every piston, piston ring, cam, and crankshaft while carrying away dirt from combustion. With fresh oil, the engine runs smoothly and quietly. But with old, thick, degraded oil, every internal rotation is like metal grinding on metal, leaving scratches and spiking temperatures. That's the fastest path from like new to needs an overhaul. What confuses many drivers is knowing the right time to change it. Too soon wastes money and time. Too late degrades the car fast. The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all like 3,000 or 5,000 miles. Every car and oil type has its own recommendation in the owner's manual. With synthetic oil, many standard cars like the Camry or Accord can go 7,500, 10,000 miles, while premium models from BMW or Audi sometimes stretch to 15,000 miles. But for older cars, frequent city driving, or harsh climates, cut that in half. 9. Clean or replace the PCV valve. In modern engines, there's a tiny but critical component that acts like a gatekeeper for the entire system: the PCV valve, or positive crankcase ventilation valve. Its job seems simple. It redirects excess gases and oil vapors from the crankcase back to the combustion chamber to be burned off, instead of letting pressure build up inside. This keeps the engine balanced, emissions cleaner, and oil loss to a minimum. But when the PCV valve gets clogged with dirt or thickened oil, chaos ensues. Crankcase pressure spikes, oil starts leaking through gaskets, spark plugs foul faster, fuel consumption rises, and you might even see blue smoke from the exhaust. The sad part is, most drivers rarely think about the PCV valve. It's tucked away behind the valve cover or in the intake line, so small it's easy to overlook. But a stuck or failed valve can cause rapid engine wear. Picture it. When the PCV is clogged, oil pressure builds like an overinflated balloon, ready to burst through any weak gasket or seal. Those mysterious oil leaks many encounter are often just the PCV valve failing to do its job. The good news? Fixing it is straightforward. On many cars, you can remove the valve and give it a gentle shake. If you hear the internal ball rattle, it's still working. If it's silent, it's clogged. You can clean it with a specialized solution like carb cleaner, spraying it into the openings, letting it dry, then reinstalling it. But if the valve is too old, caked with oil, or beyond saving, the smart move is to replace it. A new PCV valve for most cars costs just $10 or $30, far cheaper than fixing oil leaks or replacing fouled plugs and sensors. Check or replace the valve every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. It's a small maintenance habit with big payoffs. A smoother running engine, steady RPMs, and no more unexpected power loss. Many owners are amazed after replacing the PCV valve. The engine sounds quieter, fuel economy improves, and blue smoke disappears. 10. Check and replace the fuel cap. The fuel cap, a tiny detail almost everyone ignores, is actually the pressure keeper for the entire fuel system. Each time you twist it until it clicks, the rubber gasket inside creates a tight seal, preventing fuel vapors from escaping and helping the fuel pump maintain steady pressure. But over time, that gasket hardens, cracks, or deforms. The results are obvious. The engine loses power, burns more fuel, The check engine light flags an evap system error, and your gas money literally evaporates even when the car is parked. The surprising thing is, many drivers spend hundreds on sensor checks or fuel pump replacements when the culprit is a $20 fuel cap. A faulty cap can also cause hard starts in the morning, jerky acceleration, or a faint gas smell around the car. Issues everyone's faced, but few link to the cap. The fix is super simple. Check it regularly. If the rubber gasket is stiff, the cap surface is cracked, or it doesn't click when tightened, replace it immediately. When buying a new one, ensure it's the right type, vented or non-vented, as per the manufacturer's recommendation, since the wrong one can cause excess pressure or leaks. For longer-lasting caps, choose ones resistant to ethanol, as E10 or E15 fuels can swell and damage standard rubber gaskets. With small steps like cleaning the air filter, fuel injectors, throttle body, and MAF sensor, changing oil on time, or simply checking the fuel cap, you can keep your engine running smoothly, efficiently, and like new. The key isn't spending big on repairs. It's paying attention to small details at the right time. Your car will run stronger, and your wallet will stay safer. Don't forget to follow the channel for more helpful tips.